What's going on, Charles?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Hopefully you guys are well. Hopefully you're all caught up on the podcast. If not, go catch up on those as well, please. You ready to kick this off?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, peeps?
How y'all doing?
Welcome back to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
The point of it all. What is with this laugh, though?
I made it less evil this time, though.
I know, but it was still just... Anytime you break out in laughter like that, just seems evil.
What if I do that?
There are so many different laughs out there. You have the horse one.
That's
then you
rough
have
on
like
the chest.
cackle,
Woo.
like me. Like I feel like I'm a cackle laugher. Tell me something funny so I can laugh. I can't really like
Something funny so you can laugh.
No, like,
It made you laugh. You do.
see, that's the cackle. I have the cackle laugh.
She's got like the evil laugh.
What kind of laugh do you guys have? Like I can't think of other. Don't be trying to get the music ready. Look at him. He's trying already.
Ready.
How about we cue the music?
Okay.
See how he tried to rush me? That's the quickest our intro has ever come
I wasn't making her do the intro. I was making sure she didn't get me.
Yeah, he was.
You gonna catch me slipping
was
now.
Preparing. I was trying to catch him up.
She was. She be trying
That's
to catch
the earliest we've ever done the intro.
Caught up.
Got up. Got up. You
Man.
guys, did you watch Babyface versus Teddy?
The first or the second one? Or both?
I tried to watch last night. I tried to watch the second round, and I just couldn't get through. So maybe today I'll pull it up before it goes away so I can watch the whole thing. Because I was just frustrated.
The first one, obviously, we all know that was a hot mess.
It was a hot mess.
The second one, I was just kind of watching because Gabrielle was watching as she was cooking. And it was so funny because...
Our neighbor has to be mowing the grass right now. Wasn't no Nan Mo.
Nan Mo.
That's all right.
Oh, well.
Sorry if you hear a lot
Exactly.
more.
We have neighbors that have yards. We apologize.
Fun fact.
But yeah, no, it was just because in the second one it was hilarious because like Teddy was all jamming, like just dance music, getting down, and then Babyface would come in with a ballad every single time.
I know. I was just like,
he got better though.
I heard that he got better.
He stopped playing his own music.
Was the winner. He was shady. I saw something Kevin on stage, I think, was talking about how he said he didn't do remixes or something. Apparently, there was a high level of shade from Babyface that I need to go back and catch up.
Really?
On. Yeah, but like a classic shade, not like
because he gave him a big compliment. He gave him a big because he said he was like the king of the. He brought New Jack or whatever.
Yeah, we did watch that part.
He said he brought New Jack, and then he's humbled. He couldn't really put in words.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm grateful.
They're two different type. They're two different type of people. You know what I'm saying? Like Babyface is always he got a smoker's jacket on every time you see him. Nan cigar, but he always got a smoker jacket though.
The wine though.
He from Indy.
I'm like, come on, yeah. Shout out to Indy.
He's from our hometown.
He's from our high school also.
That's right. He's from our high school as well.
Same high school as us. So shout out to good old Babyface.
Same year for Gabrielle. I was a few years behind.
No, you didn't. No, you did. That was a good one though.
Thank you. But see,
Ray.
But it's proof though the black don't crack because you see how good she looks.
You know what? It sure don't crack, but get your life.
It's so funny. We were actually looking at old vlogs last night.
We were. Shout out to the old Gabe.
The old Gabe, and we were talking about we were talking about the ways that we want to, maybe replicate some stuff that we used to do, and maybe look at.
Sorry, where your headphones, Ray?
But yeah, so we were looking at old vlogs last night, and just
not randomly.
Well, so we were looking for something because we're looking when we're going to transition baby girl into her toddler, but the front of the crib come off and actually put the little toddler part so she can get in and out. So we were looking for those, but Gabriel kept looking at old videos, and we were just looking at some stuff that we want to, took some really good ideas from our old vlogging style that we want to maybe try to incorporate again So all of you peeps have been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'll see those whenever those start happening. But it's so funny.
Know. We're gonna try it.
We're gonna try. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But it was funny because I was like, here I am looking all old now. And Gabriel looks exactly the same.
He kept saying,
it's like she never aged.
You have not aged. You have not aged. I was like, thank you, love.
I mean,
I don't particularly feel like you have aged either, but I do feel like you look completely different. First of all, you're a little bit more beefy in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Got some cuppage going on up under here. You have more facial hair. You have a thicker mustache. You have more hair. Like, you just look completely different.
It's
like
true.
Babe had a fade. He was uber skinny. He had that super skinny thin mustache.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so many things.
Like, this is thicker than normal anyways, but
yeah, true.
But no, it's true. Like, as I've grown, and then obviously all the gray hair.
Oh yeah. So you've looked more distinguished.
Yeah, more seasoned.
You look more seasoned.
I'm more like the father of 2 kids.
You definitely look like the father
and someone
of 2
that's coming
kids.
up being married for 9 years, right? So
I don't think that I look like the mother of 2 kids.
You don't.
I don't.
That's what I'm saying, Gabriel. That's what I'm saying. She literally has not aged, which is a blessing for me.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Black don't crack.
I'll take it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. So what we found out.
Black don't crack and white changes every night.
I can't. I cannot deal with you. So what we found out was that Chad Jr. at this age was already transitioned to his toddler bed. And I just don't remember how that happened. Like, I don't really remember when that happened. First of all, he never had a crib net because he was never really the type to climb out of his bed. Reagan been climbing out of her bed for the past, like, it started like 7 months ago. Exactly. So she's had a crib net.
And she wasn't ready to,
she wasn't ready for the toddler bed then.
So with Chad Jr., I think what happened is once he got tall enough to where he could, we had it all the way down to the bottom and he could still possibly get out. I think we just transitioned him. Yeah. Right? I think it was we just transitioned him.
We ordered up. Yeah, for Reagan, we just tried to keep her contained as long as possible. But now with the potty training and then considering night training soon, we were like, maybe it is time. And we got confirmation from looking at the old videos that it is time. So we ordered her a nice little crib, like a bedding set and everything. So hopefully later on this week we'll switch her out, and I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, a little nervous, but
because that's when it all went downhill for Chad Jr. The sleep training.
Well,
could,
for a little
get
while,
up and walk to the door.
But he got good. It got good.
It got better, but it took some time.
It took some time. The first few nights, I remember we would hold the door shut, and he would come and try to cry at the door, and eventually he would just do it for he would come and try to open it one time, and if it didn't open, he'd get back in his bed. Yeah. So we got a really cool, like Gabriel said, a really cool bedspread. So we're hoping that means that she's going to be excited to be in there. And she loves her bedtime routine now. She never stands up and cries. So I'm hoping that with that same mentality, maybe she'll just lay down anyways and won't really think about getting up, Yeah. So we'll see. Just pray for us.
Just pray for us. You know what is so funny? I'm sitting here trying not to get annoyed by the lawnmower. The funniest thing, you know how God works, because
piece of lint.
The other day we were watching a course, and throughout the whole video, the lawnmower was going, and we was like, for real, they couldn't have just stopped and waited or done this another time. But you know what? God has a way of being like, oh, you want to talk about the people with the course with the lawnmower? Let me have the lawnmower go while you're on the podcast, because I'm not about to stop and wait for him to stop mowing this yard.
We don't know how long it's going to take him.
Exactly. So thank you, Lord. I get it now. See, that's what happens when you be judging folk. Them guy be like, look, let me show you.
Yes, let me
put some experience on you, so you can know what it's like while you judging other folks. But that's the funniest thing, because it just came to my mind. Like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have been talking crazy. Because then also we were like, you know what? Done is better than perfect.
Yeah. It
was just a reminder that done is better than perfect.
It's a motto that we're trying to live by.
Yeah.
Something you guys should think about too.
Good job! Yay!
Yay! Good girl.
We have Ray in here. She's got her potty.
Woo!
Yay! Woohoo!
Go girl.
So yeah, God has a way of
Yes, he
doing
does.
that. So thank you, Lord.
Yes, we love him.
But
But we love you for that, Lord. Thank you, because we need those reminders.
Done is better than perfect. And so let's see. Last week was a great episode. Thank you guys so much for all of the feedback. I saw particularly a lot of feedback about us opening up about therapy and how you appreciated the transparency. We also had some therapists and some counselors in the comments that really appreciated, just our standpoint and being open about it and everything. So I figured it was pretty fitting to share an additional resource because we shared some last week, but we actually have a new one to share with you guys. So
that's right. So that's where BetterHelp comes in. So BETTER help, HELP. So great service that they have. So basically what BetterHelp does is they assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. So you're getting a real person that actually has a license and not just, somebody down the street that wants to be a therapist. It's a real person. You can start communicating in under 24 hours. And I want you to know it's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is a professional counseling that's done securely online. So that's pretty cool. So they have a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many of your areas. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor, which is nice. You can, keep in contact with them. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as you do like with traditional therapy. Especially if it's your first time. You probably get used to that, and stuff like that. But the first few times, I'm sure it's I remember for me it was kind of uncomfortable. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. So that's something we talked about with Gabrielle. Like she found somebody new because the first one wasn't really a good fit. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. Visit their website and read their testimonials that are posted daily. So again, visit betterhelp.com/LMO. Again, you can visit betterhelp.com/LMO. That's BetterHelp, HELP, and join the over 800,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. So special offer again for us. You get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/LMO. So check out BetterHelp and that
sounds like a really good service.
Absolutely. So
could be like a good introductory service also, like if you're just starting to want to do therapy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then especially with right now with what we're living in, where you can't necessarily
you can't really go to an office right now anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's a perfect way to still be able to talk to somebody that can help. So, all right. With that being said, question time.
Question time.
I don't know who went last time, but I feel like you can pick a number.
Let's go with 564. See what we come
564.
Hot in here to you. I'm burning up.
It is.
Woo.
What's the best way to delegate things to others?
Ooh, I don't think I'm a good delegator. So
I would agree.
I try to do all the things. I think the first step is to make a list of all the things that need to be done.
Yeah.
And then after you make the list, go through and mark off or maybe create another list from that list of the things you excel in.
Yeah.
Because I am a firm believer that you should only be spending your time doing the things that you excel in.
Yeah.
Everything else that's left, then outsource or look for ways to outsource, which is something that, one of the things that I don't necessarily excel in because I just don't like it is cleaning the house. So we get a housekeeper that comes in every month to do the deep cleaning.
Yeah, we keep it clean, but they come and do a deep clean.
The deep cleaning, because I'd rather not waste my time doing that. I can do a lot more in the time that they take cleaning the house. It's like 4 of them, and it still takes them 3 or 4 hours. So I don't have that kind of time. It would take me double to deep clean this whole house. So I think that that's the best way to delegate is look at the things that you aren't the best at. emails is another example for me. I don't do emails because I'm not good at them. I'm
Yeah.
horrible at responding. It takes me a while, but that's Babe's strong suit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's like my how I
Yeah, and
delegate
that's-
the most is what do I struggle with?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Who
you
else
know,
can do it better?
yeah, I mean, it's just the way that we you know, I think that's what you said is perfect. You just have to determine what I think that we all have to, you know, what's that saying of, what is the jack of all trades, master of none? Maybe I'm saying that right. Hopefully
No,
I'm
that's
saying that
right.
Well, I mean, I think that's the problem with a lot of us. We're all trying to be able to do everything, but we're all trying to be a master at everything instead of just a jack of everything. Like, it's okay to have a experience in a lot of different things, but understanding what you're a master in, right?
Right.
And because the things that you can master, that you're a master at, is what you're going to love and have passion doing, or you're going to do really good.
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing. Do really good,
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
may be able to do it, but
Will
are
it be
you
as
doing
good?
it the best? Yeah,
Exactly. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we've identified in our business that we're like, you know what, we're good at, but then there's things that we have support in.
Yeah.
Because not that we can't do them, but we're trying to give it to somebody that has a passion for that, and, you know, has experience there, and we're understanding that they can benefit us as well as us benefiting them.
Right. 'Cause, yeah, I think that the key with delegating is to ramp up like effectiveness and efficiency.
Absolutely.
And it's like, if somebody else can get this done more efficient than I can, then why am I wasting my time?
Why are you
Even
wasting
like
time?
in our personal life, we had an assistant for a time, but she really actually helped us during the decluttering process in the
Yeah.
house. She helped us declutter our whole storage unit and all of that. And I literally feel like if it wasn't for her, we probably would still have the storage unit, because that is not our strong suit.
Yeah.
We get started, then we stop, we start, and then we stop, then we over it, and then we move on to something else. But having somebody who knows, okay, here are the steps to declutter this thing.
Yes.
Let's go through it one by one, like,
She held us
man.
accountable.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of different areas in life where you can delegate, but I think that when you're like giving off things that just don't bring you joy, or you're not the best at, then, or that are time wasters, like admin. If you run a business and you got a lot of admin work and it's taking your time away from the creative work, then you need to find somebody to do that admin work. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect. Yeah, I think we could talk about this all
We
day,
could.
because it's something that, you know, we both
Yeah.
are
You
passionate
gotta learn
about.
how to delegate.
You know, it's interesting because it's so interesting for me. I had to learn how to delegate in the Army, and then also as a contractor, leading people, right? But then when you work for yourselves, you know, then it's interesting concept, because now you're having to, in essence, hire out, you know, like, you know, contract out to people to use their services to be able to delegate.
Yeah.
And so it's a little different, but
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
it's tricky too especially when you work for yourself and you're delegating your stuff, because it's hard to find someone that's going to be as passionate about your
Yes.
stuff as you are.
are you going to fight for me the same way I'm going to fight for me?
Yeah, so that's another thing too. Like, when you're delegating, make sure you're hiring somebody that you can trust. If I got to go back up over your work because I don't feel like you're going to do the best,
Probably not the
then
one.
you're probably not the one. I need somebody that I can give it to and not even have to worry about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to look it over, but
Yeah.
if I got to redo, then,
like 6
yeah.
months down the road, if you got to keep redoing things, that means it's probably not the right person.
Yeah.
2 months down the road, if you still got to check some things, okay,
That's
cool.
different.
They're
It's
learning.
early on.
They're
Yeah.
learning.
So, yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a little mini lesson.
I'm just going to
in
turn to a
delegation.
page.
Now you're supposed to tell me, Shawty.
Right there.
No, I do that. What? I don't even know what
326.
326.
Dang, I wasn't on the right page.
Nope. Blast from the past.
326.
Okay. When did you get your first traffic ticket? Share the details. Do you remember? I don't remember my first traffic ticket.
Yeah, it was in Fort Polk, Louisiana. I was in the Army.
You really remember?
Yeah, I was in the Army. See, we got a special guest now. She'll be gone in probably 2 minutes because that's what she does. But yeah, no, so I was on the way, and so we were speeding. Me and my buddies, they were driving their cars, driving mine. We were just, just driving fast.
Were y'all like racing each other?
I mean, keeping up with each other, not necessarily racing. And one of the MPs stopped me. and
what
stopped.
Is NP?
Military police.
Oh,
MP.
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 Okay.
Yeah, military stopped me and gave me a. It was a warning, but it was kind of like a ticket. But he's like, look, I see y'all racing all the time. Y'all need to stop that. But he was a cool guy. But it was a warning. So therefore,
good.
My unit got the warning. And he was like, yo, what are you doing, Raider? Slow down.
That's so funny.
But yeah, that was my first one.
I don't remember my first traffic violation. Honey, I couldn't tell you. I've had so many. I've had a lot of speeding tickets in my life.
And the crazy thing about Gabrielle's speeding tickets since we've been married, like the few that she's had, like it's just been. It's not like she's speeding like crazy. It's just a little bit over, but the cop happens to be in that mood that day.
I know, right?
To stop her. Like, it's like, if it's like 45, she's going 52.
Yeah.
And like they stop her.
Yeah.
Which 52, you're cruising with traffic.
You're going with the flow of traffic. Now, the ones when I was younger, I was legit speeding. But yeah, I don't remember my first one. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Because I've had too many. I don't know.
It's crazy. Hey, it's all in the past.
It's all in the past. Okay, I feel like we should give some love to these other books.
I know,
because
right?
we'll never ask no questions out of these other books.
So which one?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
No,
these are the ones
tell me a page.
Okay,
so you got
how many pages?
You got 293.
Okay, well, let's go with page 1. I really thought I had a number there. 174. We'll go with that page.
Okay.
And then let's go on this. Oh, this is 174. Stop.
Would you rather live in Los Angeles or New York City?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I have lived in Los Angeles and I loved it. Mm-hmm. Almost moved to New York, but decided on LA instead. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know. At some point, I did wish that I would have moved to New York instead of LA just to pursue Broadway. But I think now I would still rather live in California. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just something about New York. Like, it just didn't give me that feeling that California does. And then, of course, you got the same thing with the weather. It's nasty.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I'm trying to be where it's warm. So if it was a choice right now, I'm going back to Cali.
Yeah, I'm going back to Cali.
Which would you pick?
Same. Yeah. I mean, New York is beautiful to visit, and it's like the atmosphere is dope, and like that's I love downtown. New York City is the atmosphere is so much fun to go there.
Yeah, I was just speaking of vlogs, last night we were looking at the old ones. Chad Jr. and I showed him. When we took our first year anniversary trip, we went to New York City. Yeah. So I showed him that video and I was talking about Chicago and he was like, well, why would they call it Chicago? I'm like, well, that's the name of the Broadway play. He was like, but you're in New York City. So I was trying to explain that to him. Funny. He's like, I want to go back. I'm like, do you remember going to New York City? He's like, no, I want to go back. So we got to take him back.
Yeah,
now
he's at that age now where he's going to really start enjoying things like that. But yeah, definitely, LA, like LA just, I mean, it's just sunny most of the days of the year, it's, we love warm weather. Like there's a beach there, many beaches there. Like it's, definitely. For sure.
Yeah. I don't want the cost of living of either though. Yeah.
The cost of living is the only reason that those are never on the list.
Yeah. They're never ever going to be on the list. I just,
the amount of money that you have to to me, it's like, for the house we bought here, we would be spending 4 times as much there probably for our house. Yeah. And that's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, I just can't.
That's crazy.
I can't justify it.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know. It'd have to be a miracle if you ever hear us say we moving to California. Somebody is footing the bill. Do you hear me? Like, it's got to be some major money coming into this household.
And so, look, if God, if that's in your plan.
Yeah, but you know what? We say that, but there are so many people that are in LA making it work that, you know what I'm saying, are not like balling out of control or, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like to live comfortably the way we would want to or the way we're used to, it would take a whole lot more money, let's if that makes sense.
If we wanted to move to LA tomorrow, we could do it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can do it. I moved to LA with $500. Anybody can do it.
Well, I'm just saying with us. I'm not talking about any. I'm talking about us. Like if we wanted to tomorrow with our, with what we do, with we could survive and we could be pretty good. But our money wouldn't stretch as long. You know what I mean? So,
Not at all.
that's the biggest thing for us. Is like we like the way our money stretches,
right?
Yeah,
or we'd have to be okay with going into way more debt with a way bigger house note, like to get the space that we're used to.
Exactly.
Like, all of those things.
So but
yeah,
definitely a cool place. Okay,
good question.
That was a good question.
You got room for one more?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's go with 96.
96.
And
yes,
number 96.
Okay. And
stop.
I don't like that question.
Okay. Stop.
What is worse, overprotective or permissive parents?
What is worse? I think that permissive is worse.
Yeah.
I think that just permissive. I mean, that word. I feel like it almost means well,
you do what you want to do.
Kind of do what you want to do. And not that. I mean, here's the thing. There's kids that have turned out really good adults with overprotective parents, and there's kids that have turned out to be really good adults with permissive parents.
Do you think you had permissive parents? Would you say they were permissive? Maybe not.
Not really. They just didn't.
I wouldn't call them overprotective though.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. I'm not really sure. But so I think that there's always exceptions, but I think that the permissive side, it allows for the kid to possibly dive into things and not ever really seek counsel from their parents. Or even possibly have that type of relationship of seeking counsel. Yeah. Because their parents like, well, just do whatever. Like it's more like a do whatever you want. So maybe they just do things because their friends are doing them, and they never really think to even talk to their parents about it.
I see what you're saying.
Like, so therefore it can just really get into some bad stuff.
Yeah. But then there's the other side too. Like if you're too overprotective, and you just shy the child from, you keep them from everything, you shield them from everything, then there's a good chance that when they do get some freedom, they go buck wild. Like, so it's really difficult because you got to figure out what the balance is.
The balance is in the middle is a great parent in the middle.
Yeah.
But that's the everyday battle of trying to figure out. That's the everyday learning curve of being a parent.
Yeah.
Because
it's kind of
contrary to belief, there is no manual out there on how to be a perfect parent because every child is different.
Yeah.
And you can have one kid, like with us, Chad Jr., and he's one way. Reagan is a completely different way. It's like relearning how to parent, so then you're having to learn. You have two different kids, two different people, so it's it's just something you have to learn, on the fly, and figure out what works best for each kid, right? Because if say Chad Jr. is the kid that's wild, right, and Reagan's the one that's not, like, we would know that we would have to be a little different with Chad Jr. as far as like
the parenting style,
would have to be a little bit different. Discipline would have to be a little different. So that's what you have to learn. So each kid can be treated fairly with the same amount of love, but in a different approach.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel, but it's a learning curve. So
it's definitely a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. But speaking of learning curves, there's actually a cool game that I want to remind you guys about. It's called Best Fiends. We've told you about this many times before.
If y'all not playing the game yet.
If you're not,
what y'all doing?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a bit of a learning curve, but it's a good learning curve. It's challenging. It's got some fun puzzles, and it's just a casual game that anyone can play. It's made for adults, but your kids can play as well. So that's kind of cool about it. And so I like this game. Probably because it's ever changing, because they're always updating it. They treat it like a service, so they're always trying to update the levels, and so you can never really, like, you're not going to beat the game because they're going to continue to update it and change it and make it more challenging. I think that's pretty cool. So again, they update the game. Like I said, they actually update it monthly with new levels and events. So it's just not going to get old for you. And as you're going along the game. And this is something that I recently learned, as we've been talking about it more and I've been playing more, is that you're collecting characters, right, as you're going along these levels. and you're going to need to use them strategically for each level. So, you know, they help defeat the enemies, which is pretty cool, because so the characters, they're actually bugs, and then the antagonists are slugs. So you're going to use these different, you know, bugs to beat the slugs. So it's just kind of cool, and that's why it's cool with kids as well. That's why Chad Jr. loves it so much. You know, anything bugs, I think kids are just on them, right?
Yeah.
So you guys can actually check out Best Fiends, and engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust me, because with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. You can download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's Friends without the R, Best Fiends. So, look, I'm sure we're going to tell you about Best Fiends again, but go check them out. Check the game out. It's pretty cool. I think you guys will like it.
All right, so we have an Ask Gabe and Babe that we're going to get into. So let's get right into it. And this is from Miss Solomon. I'm not going to say your name. I don't know if you guys want us to say your names or not, so I'm going to just say Miss Solomon, okay? So this is an Ask Gabe and Babe. Hi, Gabe and Chad. I hope you are staying safe. I am 25 years old. My boyfriend is also 25. We dated when we were both 19. We were not ready, and he hurt me, but we both recognized that we were wrong and immature. This question has multiple parts. Okay. We were together for 3 years and took a break from each other. We are back together and things are going great. Great is in all caps. We are talking about marriage and building a life together. We are more in love than ever. My parents are skeptical, being the protective parents that they are, and what happened in the past over 2 years ago. So number one, how do I handle my parents being skeptical of my relationship? And then number two, I recently moved across the country for career reasons, and he is back where we were, so now we are long distance. He is still in pharmacy school, and I am working at a large engineering company. We miss each other like crazy, but it's working. We want to get married, but do you advise a long distance marriage for 3 years, in parentheses? Do you think it is something that can work? Best, in love and trying to make it work. So thank you so much for sending this question.
Thank you so much.
So it's a two-part. So the first part of it is, how do you handle parents being skeptical of a relationship? So, I'm trying to think of how to say. I think that parents want nothing but the best for their children. Like, I'm a parent, I want nothing best for my child. So I think that when you've been hurt by someone, it is a little harder for other people and your parents, whoever, to accept you going back,
because they don't have the feelings for that person like you do.
Yeah, so it's one of those things you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, because you have to realize, like, they're your parents. They only want the best for you, and they don't want to see you hurt again. They don't want you to be, like, putting yourself in a bad situation, but then at the same time, they are not in your relationship. So only you know whether this person has regained your trust and whether you're ready to go forward with them, which obviously it seems like you are. So I think that you just kind of have to maybe tread a little bit lightly, or, just take their thought with a grain of salt. Like, you know what, this is just my parents being a little, protective and just looking out for me. But at the same time, I have to do what I feel like in my heart is right to do.
Absolutely.
So I think that that's the best way to handle that, as long as they're not like, I don't understand, as long as they're not doing anything to cause harm in the situation, or like, making you feel what am I trying to say here?
If it's abusive in any manner.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't know if abusive is the word that I'm looking
there's
for,
physical abuse, there's mental abuse, there's verbal abuse.
Yeah. I guess as long as they're not, it's not like overbearing type of thing, or just controlling or something like that, then I think that it's just parents being parents. And sometimes parents are skeptical and they end up being right, and sometimes they're skeptical and they end up being wrong, but you never know. So I would just say, base your actions off of what you want to do. Like, it's okay to listen to them and hear them out, but in the end of the day, like, you have to make the choice.
Yeah, because
this is your life.
Because you are an adult, right? Now,
Absolutely.
you're 25.
Not in high school.
You're an adult.
Yeah.
You can make these choices yourself. Like your parents are there for advice and love, but and counsel, but they also are not there to make the decisions for you.
Absolutely.
You're grown and you can make decisions for yourself. So yeah, it is a tough situation, but if your parents love you and they value the relationship you have with them, and they support you, then if you lay it out to them how you feel and why you feel and how how he makes you happy and how the relationship is going in the right direction, then they're going to support you. And if they don't, then again, that's something that they'll have to figure out.
Yeah.
You can't make someone support you or be on board with or agree with you. Like, that's life. But I think like Gabriel said, they'll either be with you or be against you, but eventually I think they'll come around, especially once they see that you're being treated the way you deserve to be treated.
Right.
Yeah.
So the second part of your question is moving across country, and you have a job where you have moved, but he's still in pharmacy school back where you were, but now you guys want to get married. And do we advise a long distance marriage for 3 years? Do you think that it is something that can work? This is a really interesting question because, for one, like, I can only speak from my experience, and I have never been in a long distance marriage. So there's that. I know that there are people that do it every day and that it works for them. I have been in a somewhat long distance relationship. I guess our relationship was long distance, but I don't even consider ours long distance because I feel like we weren't actually ever officially together when we were long distance.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It was kind of like a date here and there, but I was still dating in Indy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Once we got engaged,
that was different.
We were together, but we were long distance because I was working my job in another state.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess I have been in long distance relationships in previous relationships, but it was different.
But once we got married, we came together.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that the difference would be, if you guys get married, it sounds almost like you'll still stay long distance because your job in engineering and his job or his school for pharmacy.
Right. So I guess my question would be, what is the rush to get married if you are going to be long distance? And this is just like, I literally don't have much to go off of here. Like, because some people, there may be somebody who has experienced this and was like, yes, we just needed to get married. It just worked better for us that way. But I think that it can work. Yes, I think that anything can work if you are willing to make it work. Like, you're going to have to do a lot to make it work because... You know what I'm saying? Like, being in a relationship with somebody is one thing, but getting married, it takes it to a whole nother level. Absolutely. And there's just a different level of accountability and responsibility and vulnerability. And it's just, in my opinion, could be a lot harder to have when you are not together, especially like starting off that way. Now, it'd be different if you guys started off married and then something happened where, like, your job took you somewhere else and you had to go through a season where you weren't together. But starting off a marriage that way, I just am not sure that it is necessary to rush. If you know that it's going to be 3 years, could you guys, like, have a longer engagement or just date a little bit until it's closer time? I don't know. Like, and I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging it, but just from the outside looking in, I'm just not sure that I would rush to be married long distance, especially if he can't find a pharmacy school where you are. Like, is that an option? Do you plan on moving back to where he's in school, or is he eventually going to move to you once he finishes school? Like, I don't know. Like, is that a conversation to talk about? Like, is there a pharmacy school that's comparable to where you are? Would you consider transferring so that we could be together and start our lives together? Like, because obviously, if you just got a new job, like, you're not going to go back. So I think there's a lot of different factors there.
I think that you have to, I think that you should sit down, weigh your pros and cons of getting married right now. Like, what are your pros and cons of getting married while being long distance? Not necessarily getting married in general, but getting married while you're long distance. What are the pros and cons of that? And then also, what would we do to be together, you know, what are we going to do in general to be together? You know, like if we're going to get married, how are we going to bring the marriage together? You know, like how, so list out ways that you could possibly connect. If there is no pharmacy school that he can transfer to and he really loves his program, okay, I understand that. Like, you know, then, you know, if he's almost done, you want to finish there, I get that completely. But you guys have to make sure that, you know, you're both on board for that. What's the expectations after he graduates? Since he is the one that's going to be looking for a job versus you've got a job, you know, so, or not necessarily looking for a job, he'll be looking for a career at that point, right? He'll be done with school, he'll be looking for a career then. He might have a good job now, but he's going to be looking for a career. So, you know, I think the pros and cons of getting married while long distance, but then also, you know, what are the expectations once you are married? You know, what needs to happen? I think that those are important. You guys should talk to each other about that. You know, if you guys can, you know, when all this coronavirus stuff is, you know, has eased a bit and maybe you can get back together, maybe do it in person. If you can't, then, you know, hop on, you know, chat or whatever and figure it out together. But I think that, there's just lots of communication needs to happen. We can't tell you one way or the other what you should do. But we can tell you that you need to have some serious conversations about what the next steps are in order to set the marriage, possible marriage, up for the right way.
Absolutely. I agree. And I'm actually going to defer to our listeners. Like, if you're listening to this and if anybody has ever experienced this, please leave some comments. And, you know what I'm saying? Because we can only tell you what we've experienced or what we have seen. And I mean, to be quite honest, I don't really have a lot of experience in long distance marriages. The only ones that I can think of that I know, they started together and then, you know, maybe the husband had to deploy or something like that. So it's different when you start off as a unit, get married, and have that time together before being separate. Exactly. But I do think that anything is possible. I think that if you, like, here's the thing. It's your life and you have to make the choice. So if you feel like, and if he feels like, you know what, we can totally make this work and we are down for it, then go for it. But make sure that you guys are both on the same page and that you're willing to work a little harder because, you know, it's going to be a challenge anyway. It's just another level of, you know, something for y'all to work through.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that's perfect. Yeah. So hopefully that helps.
Hopefully that helped.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully that helps.
We wish you nothing but the best.
Yes.
Whatever decision you come up with, like, go for it. Follow your heart.
Exactly. With some good communication.
Yes, definitely. Gotta have that. I don't know. We got time for another?
I think so.
So before we get into our next Ask Gabe and Babe, because we had a couple.
That's right.
We want to tell you about our final sponsor of this episode, and that is Scentbird. Now, you guys know that we have talked about them multiple times before. So if this is your first time hearing about it, Scentbird is basically a monthly luxury perfume and cologne subscription service. They have over 600 designer brands, and all you do is choose the fragrance that you want to try, and they'll send you a 30-day supply. And it's so cool because the supply is like a travel size. So you can like take it with you. It's a refillable case, and you can just try out these different fragrances before you commit to a full size. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to wear it a while and see how it interacts with your body. Do you really like it? I think that that's like the best thing about it. And
it's enough to like last for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's enough to give you, I think, like it's like a 30-day supply, like depending on how heavy you go with your smell.
Which is great because that gives you plenty of time to figure out if you like it or not.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So they we've actually worked with them for the first time like years ago, but it is one that we just started like using again. And I can tell you one of the fragrances that I have really been loving is Prada Candy Gloss. That is one that I have been using. And then here recently, Babe and I found one that's like a unisex scent, and it's Confessions of a Rebel, Get a Room. And it is a scent that literally literally smells good on both of us.
Exactly. She was like, "Here, let me spray this on you."
I know,
I'm like,
he was like totally not for it. But I'm like, it smells good. Like, they specialize in, you know, fragrances that are both feminine and masculine. Like, it has both of those undertones, so anybody can wear it. So we have definitely been loving it, and we would love to get you 30% off of your first month today. And that's only $10 for your first fragrance if you go to scentbird.com/LMO and use our promo code LMO for 30% off of your first month. And that is Scentbird, SCENTBIRD.com/LMO. Use the promo code LMO, and then you get your first perfume or cologne for only $10. You can't beat it. We really enjoy the subscription, and we think that you will too. So make sure you check it out.
Don't want to be stinking out here.
Definitely don't want to be stinking on these streets.
So as she was telling you guys about that, I actually went and found the Ask Gabe and Babe, the other one that we wanted to talk about. Okay. So this one is actually from Emma. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for emailing us. So it says, "Hello, Gabe and Babe. Thank you for opening my email." You're welcome. "My name is Emma, and I've been a huge fan since I found your YouTube channel back in college.
Thanks.
I wanted your opinion on a matter. I've been married to the love of my life since 2013. And according to my husband, he wants to have a family with me one day, in parentheses, when he's ready. We are going on our 7th year of marriage, and he still doesn't think he's ready. I'm now in my 30s, and the time is running out. How do I help him get ready to start a family? He believes we have to have a certain amount of money in the bank, be 100% debt-free, and have all the baby items ready to go before we start trying. Thanks again, Emma."
Thanks for reaching out, Emma.
Yes.
We appreciate the support.
You know, you mind if I jump in?
Yeah, go for it.
I think that, you know, I as a husband, I can appreciate the fact that he wants to make sure the household is straight, right? The finances are good, you know, debt paid off, baby items ready to go. So I agree with that part. What the part that I think that maybe he's getting stuck on is you can do all the preparation in the world,
all of it,
and that doesn't make you ready to have a baby. Like when you hold the baby the first time, you're gonna be scared, completely scared and excited, all at the same time, happy, elated, like, because preparation is good, but again, a kid is its own little being. Like you're gonna have to learn how this baby reacts and how it acts towards certain things, like in the moment, right? So for instance, and then also too, like, so, you know, you get money in the bank, that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. You know, you pay off debt if you can, but let's be realistic. Like, how much is the debt? Is the debt, you know, $100,000? Is it just $20,000? Like, what is the debt?
Right.
Like, and how long will it take you realistically to get it paid off? It's been 7 years now of marriage, and it's still not paid off. I mean, that's what it kind of reads as.
Seems like, yeah.
So how long is it going to take to pay the debt off? Like, you know, like, is it another 5 years, another 7 years? Like, what is that? And then I think one of the coolest part about learning you're pregnant is then what's the baby room going to look like? Buying all the things and, you know, and planning it all out and stuff like that. I think that there's things that maybe if he looks at it a different way, that there's so much that you guys can do together when the baby is coming. Right. Versus, you know what, we're going to get everything perfect and then we'll have the baby. It doesn't work that. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You're not going to
buy all those stuff now anyway, first of all, because you don't even know what you have in. Like, so, I mean, sure, you could buy a few things, but that's the whole point of having the baby and a baby shower and blah, 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 blah. I think that in terms of, are you ready to have a baby, having baby items is not even like top 10 on if you're ready to have a baby, because there is time. Even once you find out you're pregnant, you got a whole 9 months to figure that part out. But I think that a couple things that I wanted to say to you, because you said you're in your 30s and time is running out, I will challenge you to reframe that, because yes, you are older, but there are plenty of women who are having babies in their 30s, their mid 30s, their late 30s, their early 40s. So I don't want you to put that pressure on yourself thinking, oh my God, my clock is ticking. Yes, we know how biology works, but just kind of reframe your mind about that, because that's going to put unnecessary pressure on you also if you keep looking at, oh my gosh, my age, exactly. when this is happening. And then also I was gonna say, like, maybe if you sit down and decide to devise a plan, like Babe said, about how are we going to tackle this debt, what is it going to look like for us, and maybe once we pay down $10K, we'll feel a little better starting to try. Like, maybe set like a benchmark, like, okay, well, if you feel like we need to have it all, what is the compromise? You think we need to be 100% debt free, but I feel like maybe if we can only just hit this benchmark, then maybe we can start, you know what I'm saying, working towards that baby, and then having the plan. We'll be able to stick to it more once we have the baby versus having the baby and then trying to create the plan. Just create the plan now so that you already know what you're working towards. And then another thing that I would say, just from a woman who has had trouble conceiving, you don't know how long it's going to take. So I think that is a conversation to have with him, because God forbid that is your story, but it is always a possibility. And if he doesn't even want to start trying, like, there's no guarantee that it's going to happen overnight. So how do you know how long you're going to have to try before you get a positive pregnancy test and have a healthy baby? So it's kind of like he's playing God, because what happens if you do all of these things, you get all this stuff and you're ready, and then you start trying, and then a year passes and nothing happens, and then another year passes and nothing happens. Like, you won't know that you have these issues until you start trying. And I'm not speaking issues on you. Like, I'm not trying to say that.
No, we pray that everything
goes smoothly, but it is the reality for so many people that once they start trying, they realize it doesn't happen as quickly as they thought. Yeah. So I think that that's also a conversation to have. Like, there is no harm in us trying. Like, we don't even know how long this is going to take. So let's just have fun and try and let it happen when it's supposed to happen. Let God do his thing. And when we find out we're pregnant, then, like, we got 9 months to do some more things to get ourselves in a better position. But just like Babe said, like, you are never ready 100% ever. Like, you just, it's one of those things where it just has to happen.
Yeah. And I think that, what he needs, as again, coming from a man's perspective, what he has to understand is that, that it's not, that having a baby is a joint decision in the relationship. Mm-hmm. It's not a his decision or a her decision. It's a both of you decision. Yeah. And it seems like, just from the email, is that he's not ready, and it's going to be when he's ready, when things are checked off of his blocks, but that's not the way you feel. Mm-hmm. And does he know how you feel? Does he 100% know how you feel and how you're ready? Yeah. If he does not, then that's the first conversation. Is, look, you love me. We've been married for 7 years. Mm-hmm. 7 years. I want this. And yes, let's face it. God can make anything happen at any point in time. But the reality is, for so many women, is that the older they get, the harder it can be on their bodies. Mm-hmm. Like, doesn't mean it's always going to be that way, but like you as the child bearer, the woman, the magical creature that can have babies, you have to go through all of that 9 months of everything. A man just can be there to support, but he doesn't have to feel all of those pains. Mm-hmm. So again, that's why it's not his decision alone. It's a decision you guys have to make together. So if he does not know how you feel, then that's the first step right there, is that this is how I feel, and this is important to me, mm-hmm. and this is why we need to consider this now versus when everything is perfect in your eyes. Right. Because nothing's going to be perfect. It's never perfect. There's never a perfect timing. Yeah, we can't. Except for God. God's timing is perfect. Exactly. So I think that, you just have to, it seems like the communication has to happen some more, you know, and your real feelings, raw feelings have to come out and make sure that he understands those, and then ask him maybe there's other concerns that he can't, that he's not able to, that he hasn't shared with you yet. What are those concerns? Is it just the money really, or is it, is there other concerns?
Yeah, like, is he just scared? Like,
yeah,
is he really, like, is he using that as kind of the scapegoat? Well, we don't have this, we don't have that, because he just really has feelings about it that maybe he hasn't dug deep into. Is that right? Dug deep into or doesn't know how to express. Like, it's just opening up the floor for more communication, and then just also explaining, like, we have to approach this from a place that is fair. And, right now it's unfair that because you aren't ready, I just have to wait. But what about the fact that I'm ready? Where do we meet in the middle?
Yeah. How do we come 7 years in the marriage?
Yeah, right? Like, you guys didn't just get married yesterday. Like, y'all been in this thing 7 years. So it's kind of like, okay, it's time to meet me halfway here.
We knew when we got married, when we got married, you wouldn't have kids.
Yeah. So especially if that's something you guys talked about having, then it's unfair at this point for him to just only go off of how he feels about it. Like, there has to be
he said he wants to have a family with me one day.
Yeah,
when he's ready.
And it's not, that's the problem right there. When he's ready, that totally negates how you feel and when you're ready, and I just don't think that that's fair.
Yeah.
So
and that doesn't mean that he's doing it from a place of malice.
Yeah, true. Very true.
And that's why you guys have to talk. He could have some very good reasons why he's not ready, but if he's just saying it's because of money or this, that's not a good enough reason necessarily. Gabrielle wouldn't take that reason. It would need to be something different. Yeah. It would need to be something deeper. That's maybe, that she would be like, well, what's really the deal? What's really,
or if I take it, like, here are the other options. Like, okay, well, we can fix that.
Yeah.
Let's set up a plan. Like, I think that's the thing. Maybe just you guys are just going at it and don't necessarily have a plan. So maybe that's the step. Okay, let's just create this plan that makes us feel better about our position. We're working towards the goal of being debt free. We're working towards the goal of having the money saved. So, we feel more comfortable if when we start trying, it happens quicker than we thought or whatever. Like,
because two people that love each other is so powerful. Mm-hmm. So you guys love each other. You guys want to have a family. You guys want to make each other happy. Then work together. Yeah. Figure out a plan that's compromised to both of your feelings.
Yes, it is a team.
And come at it with love to him. If you've got concerns, be loving, be respectful, and he should do the same as well. He should come to you, respectfully and take your concerns and communication. That's it, right? Loving communication.
It's key.
Yeah,
it's key.
So hopefully that helps. Again, I want to remind everybody that's listening or watching, we're not licensed relationship therapists or anything.
You guys know that. We just,
you guys know, but just
sharing from our experience.
Yeah, we've been married for 8 years, going on 9. We love, and we want everybody to experience, happiness in the marriage.
Absolutely. So I think that's all we got for today. I think it was a good episode.
I think it was good. I had fun. We got to answer a couple really good Ask Gabe and Babes. You guys always send great stuff in, so please keep sending them in. We answered more questions for you than we normally do.
I know,
There's some good ones today. We didn't have to turn any of them down.
We had some really good ones. So you guys know where to find us. If you don't, you can find us on Let's Make Out Pod on Twitter. Let's Make Out Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We would love for you to share your favorite moments from this episode. We would love it if you would review us and leave a rating on whatever platform it is that you're listening to. Right. It just kind of helps get the word out about us and helps us grow the family of Let's Make Out Peeps.
Absolutely. And please continue to send your ideas and Ask Gabe and Babes. What do you guys want us to talk about? Yep. Do you have situations or scenarios you would like us to weigh in on? Yeah. Please keep sending them. If you forget to ask Gabe and Babe, that's fine. We're reading the emails regardless. We're going to try to.
We'll get it.
We'll get it regardless. So don't feel pressure that it has to be a question. If it's just something you want to hear us talk about, please send it. We want to deliver stuff that you guys enjoy. That's the goal.
Thanks for rocking with us. And
that's right.
We will talk to you next week.
That's right.
Bye,
Deuces.
Guys. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Woo. My head is hurting, y'all. Sorry.
She said it was hurting right before we started.
I know,
too,
and
so
it has
I'm
not
sorry
gone
it didn't
away.
go away. I thought she her coffee would maybe help her go away.
It didn't
but
go away. So
guess we're gonna have to make out.
See how he do.
That's right.
Hot
All right,
Mess
y'all.
Express.
Thanks
for watching, guys.
That's right.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
That's right.
Bye.
Deuces.